Yo. You guys ready? You prepared for what's about to go down this week? This has definitely been one of the weeks of all time. Hero, how you going? It do go down. It has definitely went down. Oh my god, okay, well. You know, I looked far and wide this week for like cool news, positive news, fun stuff. All the good stuff is happening in like a week or two. So this week has kind of just been the oh fuck week. Give me a second. There we go. I do remember you, Riro Hero. How you going? Well, might as well just get into it. Hey, no point putting it off. Oh, I'm missing. You know what? It's probably for the best. Oh no, here I am. We got a weird cut-off penumbral fuck you there, but we're okay. How you been today, chat? How's your day been? Yo, a Keeb with the 13 months. I hope my alerts were broken yesterday. I was almost late because I was trying to fix them. I think I fixed the multi-notification thing where we get like 15 per alert. I might have fucked up normal notifications though. Bear with me. But yes, Akib, thank you for the 13 months. Why are you so? I don't know why are you still here? Chloe, Ira, Louie, and the others are 2 years. Are they really? Oh god. Wait, no. HoloX has been around for 2 years. You got it. That's fake. That's cap. Hang on. No, that's not true. Hang on. No, that's a lie. VTuber Wiki. When did this when did HoloX come out? Wait. Tempest is fucking oh my god, Tempest is a year old. Wait. When the hell did HoloX come out? Sorry, we're immediately off topic. That is throwing me for a fucking loop. Chloe. Oh my god, it's been a year. It's been 2 years. It's been 2 years since oh no. Oh, I'm getting old, chat. It's Jover. Anyway, should we just hop into the main thing we're all fucking thinking about? Like the big... There's one story this week that everybody's probably like been thinking about. The absolutely wild, insane, batshit crazy fucking story. Let's get the timestamp going. I'm... Excited is a strong word. Okay, so for the 2 people that didn't see Twitter this week, there's a VTuber, or there was a VTuber in Idle EN called Riro Ron. She was like an alien, kind of. She debuted about nine months ago, I believe. She was a sort of like a phase invader. Let me bring up the screen so I can show you guys the tweets and whatnot. So if you know Phase Connect, Phase Invaders are like when they take an existing VTuber in, they sort of keep their similar identity, they don't try and like hide it, and they just adopt them. So I think it was about 9 months ago, Idol did that for Kiara, which was Riro's like other name, right? Brought her on, gave her like a new kind of design-ish thing, a new kind of character trait, new name, but kind of the old. It was kind of strange. It was like a new name, a new design, but it was still the old person. Let me show you, hang on. Okay. And then just this last week, this got posted. And I will read it out for you. We'll have a little dramatic reading. Thank you for your continued support of Idol and our talents. We would like to inform you that as of November 28th, 2023, we have terminated our contract with Idol Project Star talent Riro Ron. Yeah, they had Project Star as like her own little special place, our own little like special. It's not like a wave, but like our own little group. Yes, the fabled black text on white background, the dreaded, the feared, the horrorful. Regarding the actions of Riro Ron that led to this termination, it has been discovered through an internal investigation that Riro Ron has violated her contract and engaged in activities both dangerous and harmful to both her own well-being as well as to the company. Through our investigation, we were able to confirm that Riro Ron violated her contract in the following ways. Misuse of controlled substances, that's a hard word to say. It may just be my mouth, but that's a hard word to say. During live stream performances. So, I would like to clarify that controlled substances doesn't necessarily mean she was doing like cocaine, alright? Like, I saw people with like, I know a lot of them were jokes, but a lot of people were like, yeah, she was definitely doing hard drugs. Controlled substances can mean a lot of different things depending on where you live. But there's one, we'll get into the past, so there's one specific stream that people were talking about when referencing this. Soliciting fans during live streamed members content for private offline meetings, that's a similar stream. Meeting with a fan in person and accepting gifts from said fan in the total value of thousands of dollars. Conducting a secretive relationship with a member of the idol management team who has also been terminated upon confirmation of these details. Now, I don't like the wording of this last one, mainly because conducting a secretive relationship, immediately like your brain goes, okay, they were like in a relationship, right? Like how most people refer to a relationship. But you could look at it another way and say secretive relationship. Maybe they were just like they were talking, you know, in a different DMs, not disclosing stuff. I think it's hard to say, and ambiguity is never good for things like this. But because I've seen some people being like, oh wow, she was in a relationship with the manager, and then some people being like, well, it doesn't explicitly say that they were in a romantic relationship, and you're kind of splitting hairs. But I'll continue, and then I'll go back to what they mean by each point. These actions have breached the trust essential for our continued management and support of Riro Ron, leading to our decision to terminate her contract. We sincerely apologize for any disappointment this announcement may cause, and appreciate your understanding. We will be shutting down the Riro Ron YouTube channel, including cancellation of all memberships 1st of January. Regarding refunds for Riro Ron merchandise, as well as donations made during her donathon, we will be publishing an official refund request form on our official Discord server. Additionally, all Riro Ron and Project Star chat channels will be removed following this notice. Treating this matter with utmost seriousness, and we'll be taking steps to ensure similar situations do not happen in the future. This text is smaller case for some reason. I don't know. I think they hit the font button. We also ask that you do not message, harass, or otherwise disturb the day-to-day activities of our talents regarding this matter. That's just basic common sense. Whenever shit like this happens, don't, like, we say this every time, but like some people still need to be taught it. Like, when something happens to an agency VTuber, like a big yab, don't like jump into other people in the same agency, be like, so what do you think? What is going on? Tell me. Don't like fucking harass them. I think Roka was having her donathon, meant to be having her donathon this week, and it got pushed back obviously because doing a donathon in the midst of this would not be fun for anyone. So hope for your continued support for other talents. Appreciate your understanding. So the misuse of controlled substances. So one of the streams you kind of have to be aware of, one of the things that happened is also, I think last stream audio was a bit scuffed, so if the audio was a bit off, someone tell me. There was a stream, a members, I think there's two different streams. There was a members only stream that she got kind of in trouble for and she got put on hiatus for. Which is, I did replace the wire, I got myself a new wire, it's very good. Was her essentially kind of outlining, she called like her members, like in this membership, her harem, quote unquote, and she had a big outline of things for her, like, hang on. Let's see if I can find this picture. Here we go. Oh, that is tiny, holy shit. Let me bring up this image. Okay, so this was on, I believe, a members only stream, right? False's recap of what happened on members only stream was wild. Yeah, listening to False say that shit was like, it hurt something in my brain. Don't play the stream. I'm not going to play the stream. Just for, yeah, just... I wouldn't play the stream anyway because it made me viscerally uncomfortable the first time I saw it. I don't want to go through that again. I don't want you people to go through that again. Stuff like that, not fun for me. Vox Akuma for... He really did. So, there was this sort of members-only stream where she kind of... She got in trouble for this. She got suspended. It was a few months back. Where she outlines the sort of requirements for the harem. No minors, love the Riro, don't get jealous, but Riro can get jealous, don't make her jealous. Again, this whole thing kind of plays out like a bit, and she responded on Twitter after the fact saying, oh, I was doing a joke and I didn't, you know, fully consider the extent of that joke. But if you listen to the actual content, it doesn't feel like a joke. It was like, you kind of get the feel, you're like, this... You're joking, right? You're joking. It was very much like, oh god, and especially now that it's been exposed that she did actually legit meet up with people off stream and like so it probably wasn't a joke. Riro is Mina, no either. Fuck me, I can't believe I almost read that out loud. Jesus Christ. For my Stardust, be respectful and tactful with Riro. Riro chooses someone wish to come through or do something mild in Ted. You must be familiar with Not Riro. Not Riro, I think, is a clever little wink, wink, nudge, nudge to like actual who she is, you know, the actual person. This harem project and what happens there is top secret. Do not talk with other people or other Stardust about your trip or experience, perks, the possibility to meet up with Not Riro and more. Basically saying, join membership, don't talk to anyone about it, and, you know, lead into this parasocial thing, and you might be able to meet up with her. And then she goes into some very uncomfortable storytelling about an experience offline that, again, you want to believe it's a joke, and you do believe it's a joke, but it's a little sus. It's just a little bit weird. I mean, hey, no minors. At least she that bar is on the floor, but she did cross it. In current VTubing standards, right now, that is not an easy bar to cross, apparently, at the moment. So, props for that. Fox saying the most NSFW shit in the straightforward news was, yeah, bro, listening to Fox be like, most people assuming this is referring to pleasuring yourself. It's just fucking funny. I love Fox, man. He's so good at this. So yeah, she kind of played this whole thing off as a joke, but that when it says here soliciting fans during livestream members content for private offline meetings, that's what it means. And given that she actually did meet with people offline and there's these stories and whatnot, it probably wasn't a joke. It was probably a joke, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, with the sort of implication that if people actually followed through with it, she would probably honor it, but always hide behind the whole it's a joke thing. So there was this. There was also a stream. I believe it was I don't know if it was a donathon. I think it was another members only stream where she basically had like a donation goal. I think it was about $250. I think. Let me see if I can find a picture of it. I think this was the one where she like pretended to suck on a banana. Like she had her model, and then she also had like a bottle of milk on there as well. Bro, sometimes when I'm looking into VTuber shit, right? And when I'm looking into like drama and I'm going through it, sometimes I just sit back and I'm like, why did I do this to myself? This shit sometimes makes my brain melt. Like, yeah, hang on, here it is. I think it's actually, she adds it at the top. It's the same stream. I think the banana stream was a different one. So here's another one, using Imgur, a very reliable source. So it's the same one, but up here, the top left, you can see $250 and I take a silly pill. Chilla, thank you for the 9 months. Silly pills, I believe, being referred to as sleeping pills, right? So essentially, donate enough and she'll take a sleeping pill for funny little EP moments or something. I think this was the same stream. I think this was the same stream where she's doing like pretending to suck on a banana, milk, drinking milk, fucking weird. Just some like, I don't judge people for roleplay in the VTuber scene. I try and keep an open mind. It's not for me, but I like to not be a judgmental prick about it and be like, no, that's weird. You can't do that. But like, all in one stream. This is a lot. This is a lot for one talent. This is definitely something. So, with all that said, this all led up. She initially got suspended for it. For I believe it was. Let me see if I can find that tweet. Sorry for the keyboard ASMR. I apologize. Where is it? Can't find the actual. Can't find the initial. I think I talked about it before when she got suspended, but it was a while back. But yeah, she got essentially temporarily suspended by Idol for doing it. She came back, and then this happened, and this is Dark Souls music. It's Souls and Chill, so it's like Dark Souls, Elden Ring, Bloodborne, lo-fi remixes. So now we don't know anything about the conducting secretive relationship other than who it was. I think it was the head. False talked about it. I think it was the head like management recruitment manager or something like that for lead talent management. That's the one. Thank you. For Idol was one behind it. You can see they didn't explicitly say it, but you can go and find that he's been taken off. He's taken Idol out of his Twitter bio and he's no longer on the site and whatnot. So yeah, lead talent manager and Riro, again, not explicitly romantic. It's weird for phrasing. Was it romantic relationship? Was it? I don't know. It doesn't really matter. So yeah, this came out. This dropped like a nuclear bomb on the internet, on the VTubing scene, and everybody saw that and they were like, "What the f?" Because this is probably the wildest termination. Because normally with terminations, right, with VTuber terminations, they give you a very they either don't disclose. They're just like, talent is terminated. We'll leave XYZ date. You know, we'll take away the VODs now. Thank you for supporting us, right? Or they give you like a vague thing of like breaking contract, breaking NDA, leaking secrets, disagreements with management, stuff like that. This is for terminations, not graduations. They are different. Graduations is more like they both agree to leave. They're both like mutually agreed. Termination is like, no, you're fired. And so terminations typically go that way, where they give you like a vague reason or sometimes no reason at all. This one is, Idol is very big on transparency. They give you the full bucket list. They give you everything, obviously respecting privacy and whatnot. So this is kind of wild. And not only are they kind of upfront about why they're doing it, the reasons are insane. Like just, again, it also kind of went viral because I think if you're not familiar with like the backstory of like sleeping pills and whatnot.
And just so you know, to segue into something else is not the same as to segue into something else.
Did I misspell segue in my subtitles? Well, there you go. You can go and dunk on me in my short. I said segue instead of segue. Whatever. So. Where was I? Oh yeah, so the people like either outside the VTubing scene or that don't keep up to date with it as much probably saw this and were like, what the fuck? Because again, you read this, right? And okay, sleeping pill, not great to be taking on stream and not a great thing to be asking for a donation to get, but it's not like she's doing heroin on stream, right? It wasn't that. But if you read this, it reads like she was doing hard drugs, fucking her manager, and meeting up with her fans offline all the time. We don't know how frequent it was or if it was that bad, but this phrasing does definitely give you that idea. So then we get into the feedback. This is what happened. She's gone. She posted on her let me actually bring up that. I think I bookmarked that tweet actually. Go to my bookmarks. She responded in her Kiara. So this is Riro's like not Riro account, right? She also posted, actually, I want to find the tweet that she made earlier. It was kind of funny. It's one of those things where you laugh and you're like, I don't know if that's the most responsible thing to tweet, but wait, did she? Oh, she delete. Oh, this post violated the X rules. Okay, first of all, Twitter, saying this post violated the X rules sounds like a fucking video game thing. You can't handle the neutron style. You violated the X rules. No, she didn't delete it. It got yoked. It has been... Elon was like, nah. It was a Minions meme. It's something about shit like heroin or something like that. And then she said, I didn't, totally would though. So that's gone. X rules does not instill with me, oh, I should follow these. It sounds like a fucking X Games mode. You couldn't handle the Elon style. So this is Kiara's response. I was as shocked to see the notice as you are. There's an insane amount of speculation going on, but unfortunately I can't clarify things because of an NDA. I wish I could talk about all this publicly with pure honesty and actual transparency. I'll say one thing though, I am extremely disappointed and have nothing to apologize for. Thank you all for your patience during this time. I miss all of you as much as you miss me. We will be so back. So, interesting, right? In that she's disappointed, she's surprised, maybe they didn't talk it through with her. She saw as the NDA, obviously, but so it makes you wonder if how they're framing things. To me, it seems like more maybe she just doesn't see if it's an issue, which again, like it's the whole thing of if two consenting adults meet up off stream, is it a big deal? Like, and is it illegal to take sleeping pills on stream? I don't fucking know. It does read like a wild termination notice, right? But it's again, it might just be a disconnect between. I don't know how the fuck you can think. I'm trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. How the fuck do you think that's acceptable though? Like, come on. I give leeway a lot to people, right? Where I'm like, oh, okay, I can see how you see it that way, but like, come on. You're working for an agency. You signed a contract. You're one of the public faces of an actual brand that has money flowing out and advertisers and business relationships, and you have, you know, gen mates and whatnot. In what world is it acceptable to fucking be in a secretive relationship with the manager and doing sleeping pills on stream and meeting up with people off stream to collect gifts from them outside of idols policies? Like, again, it might just be a misframing thing. Maybe she disagrees with, yes, how they're framing it is like maybe because it is a bad look for her. Like, if she just met up with fans and got gifts and said hi and it was like a meet and greet, that's different from meeting up and, you know, doing shit. And it's not helped by her previous streams where she talks about meeting up and like doing shit, and or as Fox would say, self-pleasure. So you kind of wonder if maybe it's being misrepresented because Idol's like, yeah, she met up with fans and then she has said she's kind of posited that story of doing sexual things with fans, and maybe it's not true, but now it looks like it's true. I don't know. But overall, wild. So that's her response. That's Idol's. We get into the Twitter responses. What did people think about this, right? So there's a few things, right? First of all, was this people being like, this gif came up a lot. The fucking Ratatouille reading gif, because yeah, as you go down, you're like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Is that allowed? Is that allowed? Also, yeah, the needy streamer overload parallels, people being like, she's hitting that needy streamer overload check marks, going down it like it's a bucket list. It doesn't seem like she was meeting fans. Yeah, they don't say anything like that, and again, they wouldn't. That's a bit too far. Why is there crying in this music? Oh, it's Bloodborne. So yeah, there's a lot of. There's a lot of people being like, based. She's so right for that. She's so based. It should have been him, not me. It's not fair. Obviously the memes were going crazy. But in terms of like, there were people that legitimately didn't see an issue, which I thought was a bit kind of naive. Like, even if you don't see an issue with the actions themselves, like whatever, I'm not here to be your fucking moral police. You can, if you think it's okay to meet up off stream and be in relationship with your manager and doing pills on stream, whatever. I ain't here to change your mind about morals, right? But as a company, you can't, like, you can not disagree with her morally, whatever your morals are, but like as a company, there's no way you're letting that slide when you're a public facing entity. Like, that's naive. You can't like, you can't sit here and be like, she did nothing wrong. Idol's cringe for firing her. Like, no, like, even fucking FaZe Connect would draw the line here, okay? And FaZe makes a very kind of upfront point of being kind of unhinged and off the fucking wall. And even they would be like, no, bro, you gotta fucking calm that shit down. Like, you can't act like she didn't do anything wrong as far as being a professional for working for a company. Maybe if she was an indie, people would be like, whatever, she's down to do whatever the fuck she wants, but... so there was a few... I'm scrolling through the tweets. There was a few other things. So there was one main thing, right? There was one main thing that came up, which was people pulled a cover she sang, I believe it was 3 years ago. Was it 3? It was either 3 or 5. I think it was 3. Of her, and she says the N-word in it, right? She's doing a cover. She says the N-word. People are bringing that up, being like, yeah, she deserves it. It was 3? Okay. Now, as probably the whitest man in the world, I don't think I get much of a fucking opinion here. It's not really my place. I think it's whatever. Like, I ain't gonna try and dictate to people what is acceptable here, because I ain't trying to get fucking in trouble for this, right? Not my fucking position to tell you how to feel about that. However, digging shit up from 3 years ago and using it as leverage to slam someone now for a completely different, unrelated event is kind of cringe to me. Like, you can still think the action itself is, you know, bad, and you can still not like them for it, but bringing it up 3 years later when it's kind of unrelated is, I don't know. It feels kind of like just going digging for shit to throw at them. I did see Evan's opinion for it. Now, full transparency, Evan's a really cool guy. I love Evan. He's great. Dig the man. Evan did say, he had a tweet where he was like, you know, the company hired them. And I'll see if I can find it. He tweeted out being like, you know, don't stand up for the company or the talent. You know, the talent said the N-word and the company hired them knowing she... I think it's kind of... It's not fair to expect a agency like Idol to look through every single video that she's ever done in her entire history as a content creator and expect them to look through it and throw them out because of that one thing she said 3 years ago, right? Like, I don't think that's a fair standard to hold, right? As far as I've seen, Idol's been pretty upstanding about this, been pretty forthcoming. Once they found an issue, they were like, okay, she's gone, we've dealt with it, sorry, here's what she did, here's why we're dealing with it. Like, I don't like throwing shade at them because they hired her for shade, like, because she said a word 3 years ago that they maybe didn't even know she said, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not excusing the saying of the word at all before I get fucking, like, slammed by a sniper rifle from 10 miles away, but I don't think it's fair to hold Idol to that standard, right? Here's Evan's tweet for it, right? Again, love Evan, love the guy. I'm not trying to start shit, not trying to cause beef with him. Fully respect his opinion, he's entitled to have it. No, like, personal beef here. Just before people start fucking being like, oh my god, Evan, no, Evan's cool as shit. This was his tweet. See you guys defending that girl at the company. I remember that she said the N-word and they still hired her. I want full transparency from all sides. I'm going to be honest right now. It's wild out here. So, from what I've seen, Idol's been pretty transparent. Idol's been about as transparent as you could expect from a VTuber agency at the moment in terms of what she did, why they're getting rid of her. I think if Idol was any more transparent, they'd be kind of infringing in the point of personal privacy, right? Like, if Idol gave any more details, they'd be infringing on the privacy of people involved, which even if they fucked up, they don't deserve to be like doxxed or harassed or anything. Some people even think what they said was too much in terms of like probably causing Riro to get harassed for or misrepresenting her, right? So I think as far as transparency goes, they seem to be as transparent as I think you could expect from them. Maybe they're holding shit back, maybe they're representing things I don't come to know. And I don't know, like, expecting Idol to know that she said that word when it was in one video. Like, I think that's an unfair standard to hold them to. You know, who knows how long people have been content creators on the internet. You can't expect them to go through every video they've ever made.
Say if we jump like these extreme worded things like they are the worst interpretation, we are going to end up
yeah, in the long run. I always like giving people somewhat the benefit of the doubt. And to me, Idol has, like... Idol has always been pretty upfront and based about things. Like, Idol has been very respectful, very kind of open and transparent whenever they could. They've never really had a bad sort of public yab yet. They've never really had anything that would lead me to believe that they're in any way sort of negligent or badly managed. So for me, that amount of trust they've built up tells me, okay, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, right? I'm going to assume sort of that either they didn't know or they were sort of blindsided or whatever. Like, I think they can earn your trust, and if they earn your trust, you know, however long they've been doing it, they've had, you know, probably what, like a year now of really, really stellar record. I think it's fair to be like, okay, for this one, you've been upfront, I'm going to trust your word because you've not given me any reason to distrust it, right? So to kind of sit here and like judge them and be like, oh, you're definitely lying when we have no proof of that, it seems weird to me. It's a wild, wild situation. And also, it's like, we were talking about this on the Discord, and then I was chilling in the Discord and talking about it is definitely the most intellectual of pursuits. But like, it's actually kind of a weird thing. I'm not going to talk about like Miko or Japanese VTubers now because they obviously don't know what they're saying. But like, there's a few VTubers in some pretty big agencies right now that have said the N-word in their past lives. It's a weird trend. There's a few of them. Like, there's a few of them in like the big ones, the big agencies that have said it. And so if you're going to go around like saying Idol's bad for it, then you have to apply that to everyone, and you have to like, then Hololive's bad, and you know, it's, to me, when you go digging up shit from years and years ago and you try and use it to cancel people now in the moment when they've completely changed, like when they've completely changed persona, they're in a new VTuber, they're a new model, they're in a new, they might not even be the same person they were at that time, and you're sort of digging it up and throwing it on the fire. It feels unfair to me. You know, and again, I'm not like here to excuse the actual saying of the word at all. It's not my place to do so. But if it happened fucking 3-5 years ago and it's unrelated to the current topic, I don't know if it's necessarily fair to, you know, bring it up. So yeah, and if you are going to do that, you need to apply it fairly to every agency, and at that point you're going to end up throwing shade at fucking everyone, right? So yeah, that is my take on that. Again, no beef to Evan. No personal beef. I think I get his take on it. I understand. And like, we're cool, but that's just my take on that particular thing that kept popping up. People kept talking about it, being like, yeah, she said this, she deserves it. It's unrelated to the current situation, I think. So that being said, what else was there in the pertaining to this particular topic? But you just ordered. It's a hard topic to talk about because I don't want to. It's a very. I get the emotion behind the word, and I understand. Well, yeah, I get why people like have such a strong response to it, but I also don't want to be unfair, you know. So, anything else? What am I missing? I think we've covered pretty much anything in relation to that. That topic. I think. I saw some people were happy about it. Most people were just like shook and being like, "What the fuck." But yeah, there we go. It's oh god, I almost spilled my juice. It's certainly a wild situation. I trust Ido in this one just because they've never given me any indication to not trust them. I don't necessarily think I don't think Riro's a bad person per se. Like it seems more like someone who maybe has just got different ideas for what was acceptable than the company they were working for. But yeah, seeing the internet is kind of broken out. I think it's broken out of containment at this point. It's kind of reaching me. I saw a few mainstream videos about it, like people outside the VTubing community talking about it. And that's when you know it gets bad. My only concern is that maybe Riro might see some harassment from this just because of how they worded it. But on the other hand, I honestly think when she comes back on her past life, she's going to get more fucking viewers than ever. Talents that get terminated, man, they pop off so hard. When you get terminated from a big VTuber agency, you get mad numbers. Because, especially when you get terminated for doing, like, fucking unhinged shit. Like... Like, when you get terminated for doing unhinged shit, people flock to you like, oh my god, what the fuck? Wait, did Connor talk about it? I didn't see Connor's take on it. What was Connor's take on it? I didn't see that. I missed it. I'm failing in my job. Was it on it? Was it in a video or on Twitter? Right, there's a clip here. Hang on. You think with it as well that people are used to VTuber agencies burning their talents like this? Hang on, let me bring it up. We'll watch this clip.
You as a company, you should be taking care of your talent. And for you to make a statement just fucking booming someone. And then apparently, one thing that I thought was bullshit is that she signed an NDA. So this talent had signed an NDA where she can't talk about it. But the company can just say whatever the fuck they want, you know? And I think that everyone's like, this is so transparent. And then meanwhile, it's like they literally admit that someone from that team was was sleeping with them. So your team, what the fuck is going on in your team? Huh? And then suddenly they're the ones who did the best job here? I'm sorry, what? Huh? It blew my mind because I literally no one was arguing that this was crazy. Why do people have such loyalty to companies that are very willing to screw over the talents when you're watching for the talents, you know? And it's like, are you watching for the talents or are you watching for the company?
Okay, so I kind of get what he's saying here. Because I've said similar things. I said the similar thing when Vesper got terminated, or when Vesper went on break from Hololive, where there is a certain difference in power where like there's certainly a power discrepancy in that the talent has to sign an NDA and the agency doesn't, which means that the agency basically can say what they want and the talent doesn't get to defend themselves, because in order to do so they'd have to break NDA. And I've made that point before with like Hololive and Vesper, where I do think it's a bit unfair in certain instances where a talent doesn't get to say their side or give their take on it, because to do so would be to be in legal violation. So I actually agree with them on that part. In terms of like, if you're going to release this, I do appreciate Idol being transparent, because if they aren't, then people fucking start speculating and making shit up and harassing Idol. I do think in this situation the best thing would have been like if both of them like got together and made like a joint statement, but that's probably not going to happen because like Riro wouldn't want to out her dirty laundry like that. But at the same time, Connor says here, he's like, I don't know why people have such, you know, are so willing to excuse VTuber agencies who are so willing to burn their talents. We're not. But the thing is that we do it on an agency by agency basis, right? So certain agencies, for example, like Niji, not to fucking throw them under the train for no fucking reason, or Wactor, or Akio Air, or Aurora Live VR, like when an agency gives you an indication that they're a toxic workspace and they're not caring for their talents and they're the worst, right? You mistrust them. It's how it works. So you do it on an agency by agency basis. When Idol so far has given no indication that they're untrustworthy, which means you do give them a bit of the benefit of the doubt. Now, he does make a good point about one of their management team being in on it, and you kind of end up with this whole like, it's kind of like a ship of Theseus thing, right? Where like, if one of the management team is responsible for it, but then the management posts, you know, the notice about how the talent's to blame, how much of the talent is to blame when part of the management was to blame as well? Like, you know, where does the blame stop, right? Because I feel like for a lot of us, it feels like the notices come from quote-unquote management, which is like this mythical figure above, right? Where we don't really think about them as a team, we just think of them as this mythical manager somewhere in the sky that just dictates everything. But in reality, management is just a group of people. So if one of those group of people is behind it, then yes, you could lay claim that the management is also as equally at fault as the talent, but the talent is the one getting kind of burned. So I get where he's coming from. I think the reason most people are willing to side with Idol on this one is that because they've had pretty much the stellar record for... I don't think that's how Ship of Theseus works. Maybe. I don't know. Probably not. I never said I was smart. I didn't study Greek. I'm a physics major. All right? Leave me alone. But I think most people are willing to side with Idol because of their stellar reputation. And I think being transparent is good, but even I said that it was maybe a bit far. In terms of, I like that they gave specifics on why they're doing it. And I think the controlled substances, difference between what normal streamers view as acceptable and what VTuber fans see as acceptable. Yeah, that is a difference as well, because normal streamers are indies, basically. They don't really have this sort of talent agency relationship. As opposed to VTubers, which often do, and it's more of like an employee contractual thing rather than an independent creator. But I do think that they went a bit too far. The controlled substances one could have been worded better to just, I think at that point, just fucking say what it is. Like, if it's the sleeping pills, say the sleeping pills, because saying controlled substances makes people think it's like crack, right? But I do think highlighting that is important.
We have already seen untrustworthiness in the termination controlled substances. They know people would assume illegal drugs. Yeah,
they should have been more explicit on that, 100%, right? Let me go back to the actual statement. They should have been more transparent on that. I do think that they should. I think that highlighting that is important though, because it is a public thing. Like, she got that whole stream was what she got suspended for. It is in the public knowledge. We have the VODs of it, so like, highlighting that is fine because it's you can go and look up receipts, right? The off-stream stuff, I think maybe leans a bit too heavy into personal life stuff, and I did say that if they go any further, they're infringing on her privacy. Where, you know, the soliciting thing, I think is okay, because she did literally do that on stream. She got suspended for it before. The controlled substances should have been worded better, but again, she did that on stream. The manager thing, I think if they didn't mention it, people would have noticed that the manager got fired at the same time as Riro and fucking brought up a bunch of speculation, and it would have went wild, and then all of a sudden Idol would have, like, Idol would have been kind of in the line of fire because, oh, you fired a talent, but you also fired a manager at the same time. What the fuck was going on there? You know, so they're probably covering their ass there, which you can't necessarily blame them for, because if the manager is at fault, you say the manager is at fault. Although, again, I get what Connor's saying with the wording there, where he's like, they do phrase it like she's at fault for like being in the relationship with the manager rather than both of them are at fault. I thought controlled substances would be clear and obvious. No, because controlled substances is like, depending on where you live, that could mean fucking anything, right? What the hell is a controlled substance? Where does the line end? So they could be more explicit than that. The soliciting thing I think is fine because that happened on stream and she got in trouble for it before, so highlighting that. The manager thing could have been worded a bit better, and look, the off-stream thing is probably one of the reasons she got fired, so I kind of get it. I get where Connor's coming from in that they're kind of blasting her. They're listing one after one after one of all the shit she did and kind of not letting her like come back. But also, if you don't, like, the only thing on there that maybe could have been left off is the gifts, the actual meeting up with fans offline, because I think that does give a certain, like, I think that does give a certain idea in your head of like, oh, she was meeting up with fans offline and she was, you know, she was meeting with them and she was doing this, that, and the next thing, right? So maybe that could have been left off, and I think you'd have still had a pretty compelling argument. The manager thing, I think you needed to do, otherwise, you maybe didn't need to phrase it that way. You could have probably just said a manager has also been identified as contributing to these problems and has also been removed, rather than explicitly stating they were in a relationship. But the first two were public. The first two happened publicly. They happened on a public stream. People have the VODs. She got in trouble for it before. She was suspended for it before. Like, so it makes sense to put that in the termination notice as one of the things that contributed to it. Only niche where you can work for a company that will release a statement about mistakes she made. Even other bigger companies have to make public statements. Keep it vague. It is just a weird part of the VTubing culture, right? That we have people that are essentially employees for an agency that has a public face. I don't know. I wouldn't say I understand Connor's take. I get Connor's take. I agree with him on a lot of things. I've actually agreed with him before in terms of, well, not on the same, but I've had that take before of like, it does feel a bit brutal that a talent can kind of just be slammed by a sheet of paper, can make them out to be the worst individual, and they can't say shit about it because they're under NDA. That doesn't feel good. That's like, but you know, you need to sign NDAs to be in an agency, and you did sign it. Like, it's one of those things where like you did fucking sign up for it. Like, you're an adult. You know what you were signing. You signed it. Like, you like. It's a very hard topic to cover, because on one hand you are there for the talents, and you are, the talents are who you should be supporting. They're the ones that ultimately are the VTubing. They're the content creators. They're who you should be watching and supporting. So ultimately, they should be the ones that get your support. However, they are, well, I was going to say they're adults that know what they're doing. Not necessarily, apparently, in the VTubing scene nowadays, because people are fucking hiring minors, but, like, if you sign a contract and you sign an NDA, like, you can, like, you signed the fucking thing. You should, it's why you need to be really careful when you sign up for an agency as to what you're planning to do, because if you do get fucking in trouble and they fire you, it's very hard to mitigate that because you can't speak because you signed the contract. It's like you made the decision to sign a contract for the, you know, advantages of working with a company, and unfortunately that can burn you. It's just one of the facts of being in an agency. So while I get Connor's take, and I do agree with him that it is brutal, especially in cases before where I felt like someone was unfairly terminated, where I feel like it was not their fault, or the company was misrepresenting them. I have felt before that it's like, oh, it's kind of unfair that, you know, the company's saying all this stuff. I don't think that's actually what happened, but I will never know what happened because the talent can't defend themselves. In this situation, though, I kind of trust Idol on it. They've never done anything that would indicate to me that they're untrustworthy, so. Don't most companies have NDAs? Yeah, but the problem is, right, is that most companies have NDAs, but most companies, if they fire you, don't go on Twitter and then tell the entire world why they fired you. Like, if you get fired from Tesco's isn't going to take to their public Twitter and be like, John Smith got fired for being a twat. Like, it doesn't come up there, so it's not a big deal. Sure, you probably don't sign an NDA for working at Tesco's, but you get what I mean. Like, sure, you can't go away and talk about company secrets, but the company's also not going to talk shit about you, so it doesn't really matter. You don't need to raise your defense, whereas with a publicly facing company, it's a bit more of a weird area, right? Especially when your future employment, like being a streamer, could be, you know, dependent on your public persona, right? And if they tarnish that, if they say something that makes you look bad and you can't rebut it, that could impact your future ability to be a live streamer. Now, that isn't actually what happens, because people who get slammed by VTuber agencies end up getting more viewers. It's just how it works, but it's just a shit situation overall. And again, I said this earlier, I don't think Riro's a bad person. I don't think you should demonize her or be like, oh my god, she's hard. Like, I don't think it's a bad person. I think it's just a bad fit for an agency, maybe. But I also don't think Idol is necessarily a bad company either. So slamming them is rough. I don't think it's fair either. But I kind of... Most people's takes I can kind of understand. Like, I get why people feel the way they do. I get why Connor said what he did. But it's... And I do feel like Idol maybe should have taken a little bit out of that to make it a little less one-sided. I don't necessarily agree with demonizing Idol, though, and acting like they're acting in bad faith. Because people who sue the company for it, a company can't just slander you, they stick to facts, whereas YouTube and companies seem to be able to say anything without repercussion. That's true as well. Is ultimately, we don't know. We have no fact checkers, we have nothing that... It is the eternal problem of VTuber contracts, right? Because of NDAs, we have no source other than trust me, bro. We hear the company side, and sometimes we hear the VTuber side, but there's no, like, corroborating evidence a lot of the time because it's illegal to obtain it. It's another and pretty shitty situation. It's kind of a rough deal. I will say though that again, Riro is like, she is an adult. She's not she's not a little baby. She knew what she was doing. She had control over her actions. She made a choice, what I would consider to be a very bad and, you know, immature choice, and there were repercussions for that. I don't think framing her as a victim is 100% fair, because, you know, she made decisions that any reasonable person would know that Idol wouldn't be cool with. Again, that all hinging upon the idea that this statement from Idol was true. Fuck, maybe it'll come out in a month that they actually lied through their fucking teeth and this is all fake and they're the worst, and I don't know, they beat her with a baseball bat. I don't know. I doubt that though, based on what I've seen from Idol and based on what I've heard from people that work with Idol, and so... The whole thing is weird. VTuber terminations are weird, and when they get this big and they leave the VTuber sphere and kind of leak into the mainstream, you get a lot of takes and a lot of different opinions, and people get very emotionally heightened about it. So I think that's everything for this situation. Is there any other takes that we need to talk about? Anything else? I think I covered it. I think I've given my opinion. I've probably talked myself into a hole. I've probably got a bunch of people angry at me now, but that's fine. That happens. I try and always be... My take with news. People... I've had people say... I've had comments about this, that I sort of never commit to an opinion, that I sort of just half-ass everything. I just try and be very respectful of understanding where people are coming from and shit like this. Like, why do they feel the way they are? And why, you know, why are they reacting the way they do, which can make me seem a bit fucking half-assed, wishy-washy, unfortunately. But yeah, I think we can move on. I think we can move on to the next topic. I think we've covered everything that is there to be covered. It is just hard, yeah. So, do we want to talk, what do we want to do? Do we want to lighten up and have some light news, or do we want to jump immediately into the Vox situation? The Vox situation isn't as depressing, thankfully. What do we think? We want to good news? We want to go good news and then double back it. Okay, we'll go through some quick stuff. We'll go through some quick cool stuff, and then we'll double back into the Vox situation. Let me timestamp this really quick. That was a hell of a conversation. 53:30. These ones always end up... Okay, I always know before I start these streams, I'm like, man, we're going to end up talking about some weird shit today. What do I'm just going to label this good news. I'll rock it through some good news for you guys. Lighten up the mood, take a load off, breathe out, like, oh, collect thyself, go, I don't know, get a Kit Kat, get a cookie, whatever your comfort food is. We'll take a little breather, and then we'll come back and be sad again. In the perpetual cycle of streaming, we are constantly sad and then happy. Where is... Okay, give me a second. What am I... Oh yeah, do you guys see the Selene thing? The Selene... Where is it? So Selene announced on her birthday countdown here that there's going to be a Holo Niji Apex custom. I think she's actually talking about it later today. Yeah, event announcement 3 AM, so in like 6 hours? 5 hours? 5 hours. They're going to officially be announcing it and talking about it. But it looks like it's going to be a cross... She said every wave is going to be represented, every branch. So we're going to see Niji people, Holo people, all in a big Apex custom. Officially supported by like EA and Apex, by the way, which I thought was pretty cool. So got that to look forward to. And I guess if you're interested, look at the stream in 5 hours. It's cool that Selene gets those things to list, because Selene loves hosting things for the community, so it's cool to see. Let's see. We got the Christmas Advent Calendar for Hololive. So, I think Kiara did it last year. I don't know if she did it the year before, but I saw her do it last year. The Advent Calendar, right, is every day of December, you get like a new video. So, Kiara kind of headlines it, but you go to the website. It would be funny if someone announced something after or during a new stream. Didn't FaZe just post? I saw FaZe normally posts at 8 PM. I assume FaZe posted their new thing. But yeah, so every day we got a new little advent thing to open. So you tap, and day 2, and you get a little video, and it's unlisted. So you go there and you watch it. It's like a little community event for Hololive. I think it's pretty cool. There you go. Go watch those. Let me see. Did FaZe leak their thing? Because I saw they're posting at 8 PM my time every day this week for the past like 4 days or whatever it was. Let me see if I can find FaZe Connect. This website is eating up my performance. Holy shit. Oh, okay. Fair warning. Opening up the Hololive Advent calendar might break your computer, but don't worry about it. No, birthday. Okay, no, they said 1 day left. We've got Tenma's birthday. They haven't actually announced it yet. Okay, so it's not up yet. There you go. Let's see. I don't know if it was every branch or if it was just every... I think she said every branch. She said every branch of Niji. I don't know what that means though. Maybe just one team from every branch. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Hololive's trying to get me to be a crypto bro. Hey, you know what? For my Oshi, I would do it. Oh yeah, did you guys see the Kiara pants rip thing as well this week? Where Kiara apparently broke her fucking pants and walked around with a giant hole in them, like for outside without noticing. And then the fan art came. The fan art, I saw the fan art. I saw the fan art before I saw the stream, before I actually knew the backstory. My entire, like, my Twitter and my Discord was just that. That was that. It was just Kiara. So. And Pencoin. Yeah, the new crypto, guys. It's going to the moon. Mine Pencoin. Trust me, I'm definitely not good. It's definitely not a pump and dump scheme. It's definitely worth a lot. This isn't just another crypto scam, I promise. So we did that. Advent. Some other cool stuff. VTA got some, there's new Niji JP members from VTA, which is cool, and VTA has opened auditions, so if you speak Japanese and you want to be a VTuber, you can go for Niji VTA. Sorry, I'm drumming. And then I think the last good... Oh my god, this is literally the last good news. Everything else is just weird, like... Oh no. Okay, no, there's another kind of good thing. I guess on Kiara... It's just all Kiara news. Kiara fucking trolled the shit out of the community. Like, she posted a premiere for a video that was like, important announcement regarding Takanashi Kiara, and everybody in the pre-chat was like, no, 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 no. And then it came and it was just this. Hang on. It was just her 1000th video, and it was just this. It was just her looking around in a green screen. No, I don't want to play an AMV. I will get copyright struck. Please leave me alone. Yeah, so I was scared, and then I was... God, the number of VTubers that do that, they like do the debate notice with like, important announcement, and then you're like, oh no, and then it's like, yeah, you got no bitches. It's like, fuck. Why you gotta do me like that, man? Ina's having an announcement stream in like 5 minutes. Alright, I'm hurrying up. We're 5 minutes of news. Let's go. I'm gonna do that. Whenever I quit YouTube, I'm not gonna have a graduation announcement. I'm just gonna have a premiere that is for like 250 hours from now, and then at the end it's just gonna be a screen being like, you got no bitches, and then it's just, that's the last video ever uploaded on my channel. Okay. Is that... Let's talk about something else. Something interesting. We won't let you leave. I'm breaking out of this cave sometime. You can't keep me chained here forever. I have rights, I think. I don't know what they are, but I have them. Okay, so here's an interesting thing that you might have seen, or you might not have seen. Because this shook me. I wasn't quite sure where these guys came from, right? So, I opened Twitter one day, a few days ago. Keep you in the cage. I will break out. I will gnaw through the bars. I have strong teeth. So, this came out. Mythos HQ is a new VTuber agency, right? They posted a trailer narrated by fucking Moist Critical.
Get ready to buckle your seatbelts, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm not gonna play the whole thing because copyright.
Myths and modern obsessions collide.
So this got posted of like just new wave Zeus, Hades, Poseidon as the first. I assume I don't know if they're gonna you know expand on it or what, but it looks like it's a Greek mythology based wave based generation or based agency. So it's cool, don't get me wrong, trailer's really fucking cool. And Moist Critical voicing it is kind of wild. It was not the collab I ever expected. What tripped me up though, what confused me was the response it got. So I came onto Twitter, right? And I saw like Aura responded immediately, Fifi responded, Freem's there was a lot of quote retweets. Kyo quote retweeted it, doing a reaction to it. So did Evan. False posted his the other day. There was just a lot of my baby Hades. There was a lot of hype around it. I saw so many people getting hyped up. I was like, okay, are these people like sponsored? But they're not disclaiming the sponsorship. And then, so I saw like Evan do it, and I saw them doing it, and I was like, oh yeah, Girl DM was, and I was like, okay, it's not sponsored because I know like Evan wouldn't not disclose the sponsorship, and then he replied underneath being like, no, this isn't sponsored. So everyone was just all of a sudden, because I spent like an hour looking. I was like, okay, like is somebody? Oh, so yeah, hi Cherry. Is somebody like debuting that is like we know from the past? Is it like a secret, you know, past life re-debuting? I listened to the voices. I was like, it doesn't remind me of anyone. Like, okay, so where did the fucking hype come from? Like, I'm not trying to be rude. It's a cool gen. I'm hyped for it, but like, I'm talking within minutes, multiple big creators had responded to it, and the account didn't have any previous tweets and nothing else. And I was like, oh, they just popped out of the ground. So yeah, you did. Okay, we did. We were sitting in the Discord when it dropped, and we were like, what is going on? We kind of came to the conclusion that it was either sponsored by someone, sponsored, like they sponsored people, which they didn't do because they didn't disclose it, and I know these people wouldn't not disclose a sponsorship. It's they have people debuting that are like past talents. That was our first guess, or it's been like backed or supported by someone that is kind of in the know in the VTubing scene and connected. And so rather than it being sponsorship, it's just someone who has a lot of friends basically asking their friends to like hype it up, right? We sat in Discord and we like hypothesized. Here's our hypothesis. Here's our collective guess. We think it might be Nux. That's our current guess. We think Nux might be involved. Complete speculation. No fucking proof. Just off the wall. By the way, I'm not trying to put a damper on it. It's cool as shit. I ain't trying to be like the guy. Actually, like I'm not trying to fucking be that guy. But it might be Nux. Just based on who's interacting with it and who's like Charlie's voicing it and the people quote tweeting it and reacting to it and sort of. That was another thing. People doing like there was a thing that I've never seen before. The people doing like reactions to it on Twitter. Like I've never seen that before for a VTuber gen where like False did it. False posted his like, so it's him basically watching the video and reacting to it. And then Noble did it as well. Kyo did it. Evan did it. Nisagi did it. Peppa just quote tweeted it saying, there's Nux as well. Koa, like fucking everybody was quote retweeting this thing. You can actually see in like Kyo's one, you can see like he's not just watching the Twitter vid, he's like, he has it pop up at some point where it's like, you can see like at the beginning it pops up the top left and it's like, it has the title of it. And you can see it's like a few days ago. Was it Nisagi or was it? I can't remember who it was. Anyway, regardless, because of the most critical voiceover that did it. Yeah, but it wasn't just the most critical voiceover because this was happening within like an hour, and you can see they're not reacting to like the Twitter video. They're reacting to like they've been sent a video. I think it was Q. One of them you can see at the top right. You know how when you watch a video it pops up the title at the top right, and the title at the top right was like the 23rd of November or something like that. So it's obviously been a video that they've been DM'd or sent. So obviously I think someone behind the scenes is like DM people being like, hey, can you watch and react to this and hype it up? And people are, and so I don't have a problem with it. I was just confused. I opened Twitter and everyone was talking about this like 30 minutes ago, and everybody's talking about it, and I'm like, okay. Evan mentioned he got emailed the video. Okay, that makes more sense. And again, my prediction is Nux. That's my little, that's my Nux Taku. That's my prediction. Could be fucking wrong. I don't know. But just based on who, like, when I look at all the people reacting to it, I'm like questioning like, okay, who's the common link? And I'm like, okay, might be Nux. Might not be. Could be fucking wrong. Kind of interesting. Yeah, I was a little sus at the beginning because I was like, okay, are people doing sponsored content and not disclaiming it? Because that's not cool. But then I saw Evan did it, and Evan's not that kind of guy, so I was like, okay, it's probably just a friend. So there you go. There's my little prediction. So we got Hades, Poseidon, and I'm Zeus. That's the one. How did I forget the fucking daddy of the pantheon? Holy shit. All debuting, and they're all degenerate as fuck. As is tradition with VTuber agencies. Yeah, don't fucking look at me like that. No, yeah, not re-debut, as in like Nux might be involved in it, like behind the scenes. I don't know. Again, I'm literally, this isn't behind the scenes info. I don't have any sources. I'm just fucking spitballing here. So there you go. There's that. I think actually, if we go up here, I can actually show you. So the video they posted has like animated PNGs, but if you go to the banner of the Twitter page, you can actually see what it looks like their models. They look pretty cool actually. So it looks like, yeah. You've got Poseidon on the right. You got Zeus in the middle. You got Hades on the left. Hades immediately made a Hades the Nuts joke, so, you know, she's my Oshi, obviously. But there we go. We'll see what happens when they come out. When they come out. Will be interesting. Anyway. So that's that. What do we have? We got the Vox Akuma thing. We have the Crimson thing. Oh, let me just mention a few things quickly. Heidi, so Heidi from Things VTuber Say, Falsy's YouTube channel, is graduating. Is December 29th, I think. Here we go. December 29th, going their own way, doing their own thing. I think it's just a mutual agreement to like pursue individual sort of goals and whatnot, which is cool. So they're going on their own little. I don't know if they're gonna. I don't know if they're gonna re-debut or if they're gonna get their own like channel up and running or music. They do say music projects. I don't know if I can keep the model or what, but there you go. There's that. Holo Parade. Is Holo Parade the like auto battler one I saw? The one that's like a I think they call it tower defense, but it doesn't look like one. I think it's like an auto battler, right? It's like Battle Cats. It kind of looks like, yeah, it kind of looks like Battle Cats. I might try that out on stream at some point. Okay, and oh yeah, Fifi got banned again. It's not really news at this point. Fifi's always getting banned, but Fifi got banned off Twitch. There you go. I don't know if she's been unbanned yet. She normally gets unbanned within a day or two. It doesn't normally stick, but yeah, Fifi's been banned again. And I'm glad I opened up this on my other monitor and not the main one, because dear God, if I ever open up Fifi's Twitter on my main monitor when I'm streaming, I will just immediately, like, my YouTube channel just gets deleted. I will just immediately get banned. But yeah. So, there's two last things to talk about. Both kind of suck. Let me talk about the Crimson thing. I'm going to just mention this briefly because I don't really want to delve into it. It's not a situation I really paid any credence to. It was mostly people on Twitter getting fucking mad about bullshit, which I know isn't exactly rare for Twitter, but Crimson stuff, whatever. So 300 strikes immediately. Yeah, go directly to jail. Do not pass go. Here we go. So Crimson is a member of Holstars. He's here. And during stream, he said something to the... He was talking about a game, I think that he said, or something he was watched or he was going to play, right? And he kind of brought up that they were talking about like sexualization, and he kind of said... Let me see if I can... he kind of brought up basically that he's cool with sexualization as long as it's like done to empower the character, but he's not a big fan of like characters that don't consent to sexualization, right? And especially kids. Like, he kind of laughs about it. He's like, why would I ever fucking want to play something that sexualizes children? I didn't think that was a hot take. I'm gonna be real with you. I thought that, as far as takes go, to me that's like lukewarm. That ain't like, I don't see that as a particularly spicy thing to say, but apparently Twitter disagrees. And there were people like calling him out. Like, it was just, again, I don't want to delve into it. It was fucking dumb. I know Rev like talked about it, because Rev, anytime anyone mentions like children, Rev talks about it. Like, so he was talking about Bayonetta and like how Bayonetta uses sort of sexuality to like empower her character, but a lot of characters' sexuality is kind of forced on them, and it's not really to empower them. They're kind of the victims of it and whatnot, which I got what he was saying. Cue Twitter being like, oh my God, how can you know, fictional characters consent to anything? What the hell is your problem? People are mad because in a company with people that are lolicons, sometimes comments are an attack on them or some dumb crap. People in the same agency can disagree on things. It happens. It's a thing. They're not a one homogenous little VTuber soup that agrees with each other all the time. You know, like, they can disagree. So people were like dunking, be like, how can character... It's just, Twitter has the worst reading comprehension. It's like these motherfuckers never passed English. Like, they never they were the people sitting at the back of the class being like, oh yeah, the curtains were blue, it doesn't mean anything, god, you're so dumb. Like, they have never learned to read into fictional situations at all. Because what he was saying was that, like, when characters sort of, when sexuality is done by the characters to themselves and they're using it to empower it, it's a different vibe than when the situation or the plot forces it on a character. Good example, right, would be Bayonetta versus someone like Tamaki from Fire Force, right? Where she's constantly involved in fan service completely against her will. Like, she doesn't, like, it is not something her character wants, it's just something the situation forces on her. So the take was, he's not a prude, he doesn't mind it, as long as it's the characters themselves that are sort of cool with it and sexualizing it. But if it's being kind of forced on them in a weird kind of creepy fan servicey way, he doesn't like it. I agreed with him. Twitter didn't. People got mad. And the same, again, that is about it. Who fucking cares? I figured I'd bring it up because I saw people talking about it. I saw some clips about it, and I didn't want people to be like, you didn't mention this. But yeah, like, it was a very valid point. I agreed with them, and people apparently just don't have reading comprehension on the internet. Who'd have guessed? All right, let's do the voxing. Let's do the voxing. This is our last topic. And then we can finish up. And I can maybe catch the end of Lopi's rizzing up. Lopi's on a dating show. I imagine it's going incredibly well. I've heard of Special Light. I think Special Light reached out to me in an email at one point. But yeah, I didn't see the debuts myself though. So, the Vox situation is definitely one of the situations of all time. So, let me bring up the stream. Here's the stream. So, I'm not going to play the audio in question just because I don't like listening to it myself. So Vox, right, on a stream, it was a workout stream, and he sort of had a bit where he was like vomiting, and you could hear it on stream that he was throwing up, and people were obviously sort of concerned, and I think it was revealed that it was like a bit, it was like a role play thing, and it sort of sparked this big, it's not just, that's like the straw that broke the camel's back, it's not the only thing, it's ever since, kind of, people would say that ever since maybe he released the movie, his content's maybe been a bit different. But essentially it sparked this big debate in his community of like, okay, if you're going to like RP, if you're going to like be kind of pretending and it's not actually you, it's just you're role playing, like a disclaimer, some sort of warning, especially with things that can be like triggering. Now, to kind of put it in perspective of how heavily biased I went into the situation with, when I see people sort of complaining about like content warnings or trigger warnings, I'm generally on the side of the content creator, where it's like, it's not super reasonable to expect everyone on the internet to constantly put content warnings down for you, right? Where if you're on the internet and you're walking around expecting everyone to put every warning possible for everything they say and do, especially when they're live on stream, I think it's a bit of an unfair expectation, right? Like, I think it's kind of expecting the internet to kind of tread on eggshells around you and constantly warn you if anything, like, especially when some of them are very niche and very specific, it's a bit naive. I don't think it's a bad thing, and I think for the very heavy ones, the very obvious ones like gore or sexual assault, like, it's fairly like decent manners to warn it, but you can't expect everyone to trigger warning everything that could ever be a trigger, because it's like, you add enough trauma to fucking anything, it can be a trigger. That's just how people work. So just again, to give you an idea of like, I went into this when I heard the initial drama was like, oh, people are wanting Vox to content warn on his streams, and I'm like, okay, well, he's a streamer, he can't predict what's going to come up in games, he can't predict where his rants are going to go, he might end up talking about something and in the moment forget. Like, you can't expect every stream to be marked with a content warning beforehand, because it's the nature of streams. Then I found out what it was about, and I was like, you know what, no, actually that's valid. Like, which, just to give you an idea, I was so heavily biased the other way and I still swung. Basically, more frequently in the past, ever since the movies come out, Vox has been leaning more and more heavily into like RP and doing RP and sort of, especially like there's been one where he did like, he had a panic attack roleplay, which is definitely a choice. And people got really concerned about that because Vox has a history of panic attacks and he's done it on stream. And so people were concerned and worried about him and raising kind of serious concerns of like, oh my god, dude, are you okay? And he was sort of, you know, Now, for the Panic Attack one, what I saw was it was the first stream after the movie got released, and from what my viewing of it, it was very clear he was in character. Like, there was never a moment where, oh god, I was like, oh god, he's actually having a panic attack. It was very clear he was playing up a character. Is that to your taste? Maybe, maybe not. But I do think if you're going to pretend to have, like, that, play that sort of character, do that sort of roleplay, a little warning would be nice. And so that's what his sort of audience is like. Now, for full transparency, I don't engage with that kind of content. I don't like RP stuff. It's just not for me. I don't like ASMR stuff. I don't like role-playing stuff. I don't like it. No criticism. If you like it, you do you, king. Pop off. Go, I don't know, be a librarian, boyfriend, yandere, ASMR. Do whatever makes you happy. I ain't here to sit and judge. For me personally, I don't like watching it. So I was kind of unfamiliar with this kind of discourse going on until I read into it. And from what I can see, it's just, ever since Vox has been kind of heavily going into more and more spontaneous ASMR, where he sort of plays into character just kind of randomly. And for a lot of the audience, I think it's become very hard to sometimes tell, like, okay, is he doing a role play or is he doing a bit? Like, is this real Vox? Are we speaking to the actual guy behind the scenes? Or are we speaking to the character Vox? Or are we speaking to a, like, role play character? And so I think a lot of people were sort of asking, like, could you, if you're going to do role play, if you're going to play into a character, especially if it's going to be something like talking about abuse or panic attacks, which a big part of the movie he released was his character going through sort of that sort of panicky, very anxious vibe. If you're going to do that, a content warning for, like, if you're gonna do that kind of thing, a content warning, especially considering a lot of your audience might suffer from things like that. They might have a very intimate relationship with things like that, and so if you're going to do it, a little warning would be nice. I don't think that's unreasonable to expect your streamer to mark when they're doing a bit, when they're role playing, or when they're doing when they're actually being serious. I honestly don't think the panic attack moment on its own is necessarily worse, but a spontaneous RP is dropping a lot of heavy mental stuff. It's all in character. Exactly. And I think, again, from my perspective, as someone who doesn't like RP and doesn't enjoy it and it kind of stays away from RP streams, if the streamer I was watching just kept dropping into character and role-playing a bit all over and over, yeah, I'd probably dip. But he does say that. So the big controversy came out, right? Or not a big controversy, it sounds like a fucking drama channel, sorry about that. Like the peak of the incident, whatever you want to say, is down here. So in response to this, he made this: I can't offer warnings for specific triggers, so please watch at your own discretion and remember that it's okay to skip stream if you're distressed / uncomfortable. And so this kind of felt like a bit of a spit in the face to a lot of kindreds who had kind of stuck by Vox and been concerned for him and been supportive of him, for him to basically say, look, just don't watch the streams. It's like, and a lot of people were just, the vibe I got was people were like, look, we're just asking you to give us a heads up if you're going to be playing a character, because it's getting harder and harder to tell when we're speaking to the actual person or if you're doing a bit. And he did sort of kind of, he said something like the last 2 years pretending everything's fine and that everything's okay has been, horrible, and that if I have to disclaim when I'm doing an RP, it will stifle me as a creator, and I don't want to be stifled. I want to be creatively free and whatnot. And I kind of got that to an extent, but like people are just asking you to like disclaim when you're doing roleplay, or like, I kind of understand. I think Vox is wanting to go in a role where he plays more into the character more frequently, and it's more of like a constant thing on his channel that he is the character, and like, as opposed to him being a VTuber that like occasionally is like, oh yeah, I'm a demon, guys. It just, from what I get, and I'm not really a kindred myself. I like Vox's content, I like the stuff he produces, but I wouldn't consider myself a kindred. And I think for a lot of them, it's just like, when Vox himself suffers from, these sort of mental health issues, and when he's been very open about talking about it and kind of receives so much support from his fan base, and they've sort of helped him and built him up and been, incredibly kind to him, for him to kind of, when they ask to be kind of warned when he's going to do potentially trigger-inducing RP, for him to basically turn around and be like, look, I'm not going to give you trigger warnings, you just have to either watch or don't. Like, it does feel a bit, it just feels a bit callous, a little bit, if it feels a little not understanding, and I've seen people say maybe a little bit self-centered. And he kind of, I think he kind of hints at like, oh, parasocialism, like, oh, you're so parasocial and that's why you're doing it. I don't think you can blame this on parasocialism. I think this is just your fan base being concerned for you because of that's the kind of fan base you've built up as a very emotional fan base that is very concerned for your well-being. And now they're concerned for your well-being when you're RPing and you're not warning them that it's, you know, it's a roleplay. VTuber fan community is some flavor neurodivergent, struggles with cues stuff, so having a specific label like eyes changing is good. Yeah, he said that. He was like, oh, I could have the eyes change, and then I think he like dismissed it, and it was like, okay, but you had like the perfect solution, and now you're not doing it. Yeah, he wouldn't even have to do like a precise one, like, oh, I'm about to go into whatever RP. Just a general warning of like, hey, this isn't me, this is like, I'm doing a bit, I'm role-playing. For me personally, if it was my content and it's not, he's allowed to do whatever he wants. I would honestly keep it separate, like have RP streams and non-RP streams, because I feel like dipping in and out of characters is bound to turn some people off. He is doing the icing. It seems to be, I haven't seen, I don't know if he's doing the icing. I would encourage him to do the icing. I think he should. I think it's a good idea, but yeah, it just, the thing is with Vox, and I think it's an unfortunate thing that comes with a lot of big streamers, is when, like, if you look at the chat here, right? When every time you say something, you get 15 million messages being like, oh my god, you're doing great, sweetie. You could never do any wrong. Emote spam, emote spam, emote spam. I think it's very hard to sort of accept when maybe you've misstepped. He updated his rules, yellow eyes is him, not an RP, and pink eyes is an RP. See, that's fine. That's literally all people needed, is like, okay, he's got pink eyes, he's RPing, he's got yellow eyes, he isn't. Done. You know, done, donezo, pack it away, it's finished, it's over, right? So there you go. That's all he needed to do. I think it's just hard to accept that maybe you've made a misstep when you have all these people kind of screaming that you're doing great and that you could never do any wrong, and it's so. Wait, he agreed to do the eye signal and then he took it away after today's stream. Why? Why? It's such an like. This is what I'm talking about, because again, I prefaced the beginning of the section with this, right? Is that I went into this very heavily on Vox's side because I'm very much one of those people that's like, it is kind of presumptuous to expect content creators to constantly warn you about everything. And like, if you're in that much of a mental state that one content on the internet can maybe send you that far over the edge, you do really need to be careful with what you watch. And that is unfortunately on you. It's kind of one of the things that comes with having, you know, trauma, is having to be very careful about the content you expose yourself to. So to expect other people to constantly be watching out for you is a bit naive. So I was very much on Vox's side, but it literally just seems like people are just asking for the bare minimum. They're like, bro, just warn us when you're doing RP or when you're not, so we know whether to be concerned for your well-being, especially because you've had panic attacks on stream and talked about how much of a mental strain it is. Like, we're gonna get concerned, so like a little bit of heads up would be appreciated. So to kind of dismiss that and kind of write them off as being parasocial and essentially tell them to just fucking not watch streams, it feels a bit disrespectful and a bit callous and unnecessarily like dismissive of some very valid concerns, which is surprising in a community that he has built around being such like sort of open to mental health and kind of open to talking about it and being so respectful of it, to then turn around and be like, no, I'm not going to give you warnings when I do shit like this. It feels weird. And when you're given such like an easy out as like eye color and then you don't even do that, it's weird. I don't know, because again, it's one thing if it's like a it's one thing if it's a content creator that is kind of notoriously being like, look, I'm not gonna fucking warn you if you don't enjoy, you know, potentially offensive material, just don't watch me. It's not like Vox is constantly in that mode. He's actually a very sort of calm, chill, easy to watch comfort streamer most of the time. So to have your comfort streamer go from a comfort streamer to potential, you know, triggering content without any warning makes, like, how are you meant to watch him? Like, it feels, you know, it's not like it's, again, he's not like an edgy content creator. It's not like you go into his streams expecting it to be triggering. So when he switches mid-stream and you get no warning of it, I can 100% understand why a lot of people would be like, yo, can we get a heads up? And so to then immediately to be hit with all that criticism and then to essentially dismiss it as like parasocialism and essentially just kind of write them off, it feels unnecessarily kind of callous, I guess. And so I understand why people I wasn't super into it when I read about it. And to be fair to Vox, I think he's just genuinely a very creative person, and he's trying to go in a different creative direction, and he's trying to like spread his wings and expand his reach and do a bunch of new shit. And I think that's awesome. I love Vox for that. I think he's probably one of the biggest like pioneers of virtual YouTubing, like content creation, especially in terms of like the male side of things. So I understand why he's like wanting to break barriers, but you know, a little bit of courtesy goes a long way. And yeah, if people are speaking out of the goodness of their hearts, like if they are legitimately concerned for you and are speaking out because they are genuinely concerned about your well-being, it's never a good look to dismiss them and be callous towards them, as opposed to like just in general in life, man. If somebody's speaking out the goodness of their heart and they're actually trying to do good by you and they're concerned for you, just, you know, treat them with a bit of empathy. But I don't know. It is an ongoing situation. We'll see what he chooses to do. I think he should go for the eye color thing. I think it's a very clear visual distinction. Warns everybody who's watching what's happening. They can tune off to tune back in. They can mute stream. They can mute stream and then wait for the eyes to toggle back and then turn like unmute. And then because it's a VTuber, not an actual person, like there you go. So you can just mute stream when he's doing RP and unmute, or vice versa. Like it's such a genius thing. Like it's a good idea. It solves your problems. The people that support you and love you but maybe don't want to be exposed to content like that, they get the win. The people that like the RP, they still get it. You just have a different eye color. All you have to do is hit a toggle. Like when you're making the mental flip between I am me and I am the Vox Akuma of role playing, you just hit a button on your keyboard and then you're like, everybody wins. I don't understand why you wouldn't. It's such a, you know, I don't know. It's such a perfect solution. I don't know why you'd write it off. But I don't know. Look, maybe he's doing... I've said for a while that I think Vox doesn't necessarily love his parasocial audience, because Vox does have a very parasocial audience. And I've said for a while that I don't think he actually enjoys it, and he might take a change in content direction to maybe try and move away from it. Maybe this is it. Maybe that's what he's doing. Maybe he's trying to deliberately distance himself from the parasocial side of his audience. I don't think this is the way to do it. I think this is a terrible way to do it, but it might be what he's going for. But yeah, it's an unfortunate situation. I've long said I feel like Vox unfortunately got kind of boxed into like in a cage kind of by the audience he ended up with unintentionally, where he ended up with this audience that he maybe necessarily didn't like. Not that he doesn't love his audience, but like I don't think he liked the levels of parasocialism, but I think he felt the need to cater into it because that's what his audience wanted, right? So his audience was like, we want this, and Vox, you know, likes his audience, so he tried to cater to that, and he just kind of dug himself into this hole of having this very parasocial audience for him that he doesn't like as much. And so I've long kind of been sympathetic to the guy, where kind of different from Hex, which I feel like Hex deliberately like caters into that parasocialism. I think Vox has always had like a sort of begrudging, like he likes his fans so he'll do it, but he also isn't super like keen on it from a personal level. So I think in any other situation, I'd be all for him changing his content style to like whatever he wants, as opposed to just playing into what his audience wants, but not if it comes at the expense of people that are genuinely concerned about you. But he'll figure it out. I think he's a good guy. I think he'll get it, but it's just an unfortunate handling of the situation, I think. But you know, he'll get there, I think. If not, maybe it's a permanent content change, and maybe some kindred will have to reevaluate whether they watch him or not. I mean, that is what he said. That's what the rule is for. Maybe, and that sucks, but it might be the only solution at the end. Anyway, I think we're done. What a downtrodden note to end on. What a stream. Jesus Christ. What a fucking stream, man. God damn. Oh, well, We'll raid into someone. Is there anyone you guys want to raid into? Anyone you want to send some love? I'd be happy to raid into a person. Let's see. Who be live? Whomst be live? I think we're done. Me. Cherry, you're not live. I can see you're not live. I would raid into the Lopi Game Show. It is unfortunately on a different platform. You don't know that. Cherry, I am looking at your YouTube channel right now. You're not live. Beating Millennia first strike, that's not going to happen. I can tell you right now, that's not going to fucking happen. You're going to get your ass beat. I'm literally live. You're literally not. You're in my chat. If you're live and in my chat, you have an issue of skill. I'd go over Especially, but I didn't watch the debuts, unfortunately, so I don't have much to say on that front. I'll maybe watch them after stream, and then maybe we'll cover them next week, if they have, like, debut 2.0s. Let me see. Who can I redirect? Who's open to redirects? Ollie has raids open. Oh, Miri's live. We need to raid Miri. Let's raid Miri. We were going to raid Miri before, and then I don't think we did. Or maybe we did. I can't remember. I think Miri's live. Yes, she's doing Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion. I can't raid Cherry. Cherry isn't live. She's gaslighting you. Don't listen to her. Do not listen to Cherry Lupina V Reverie. She is a liar and a gaslighter and a gatekeeper. Nico, we're not doing this again, my man. Nico, we're not. Nico, my man, we're not. We ain't doing this again. I can't go through this again. I can't. I'm not strong enough. Oh, I thought I fixed it. It didn't fix. Okay, I need to sit down with someone who actually knows what they're doing on YouTube, and like get them to explain to me how to stop YouTube doing this, where it gives me 50 alerts even though I have the group one. I need to actually hit someone up who... Cherry, do you use Stream Elements for your alerts, or... Okay, how do you stop this from happening? Because I've tried to fix it about 5 separate times, and I've never been able to do it. It does this to me. I'm only good so it doesn't do this. I've tried to fix it like a million and one fucking times, and Thank you, Nico, for the gifted memberships. I'll only help if you raid me. Cherry, you are literally not live. I can't. Are you saying you hate Miri? Are you saying you hate Miri and you... What are you trying to fix? Okay, so my stream elements, right, should only play like when somebody gift like a group of memberships, like 10, it should pop up at the beginning. It pops up like Nico has gifted 50 gifted memberships, and then like that pops up, but then it also does separate notifications for all the people that get different memberships. And so I don't know how to fix it. Also, can we get confirmed that Cherry hates Miri? She doesn't want me to raid her, and I did not mute the penumbra fuck you. The penumbra fuck you is going. Can you not hear it? You don't hear it? It's going. It should be audible. I can't believe penumbra hates Cherry. That is not in discussion. I've always hated Cherry. I hate all VTubers out on me. Okay, we're gonna raid into Miri and we're gonna tell her that Cherry hates her. Actually, don't do that. That was a joke. No, wait, don't do that. I realized it from the other side. Well, for us, it might look like a joke on her end. Us all going into her chat, be like, "Yo, Cherry hates you." That might give the wrong impression. Let's not. Sometimes my brain. Yeah, let's not hate raid the fucking fox. For the love of God. Yeah, no, I take it back. Go in and I don't know. Yeah, do not do that. Sorry, my mouth worked faster than my brain. We could go in and say that we hate Cherry. Pen literally getting me cancelled. Hey, you do that perfectly yourself. Okay, here, let me... Wait, I know how to fix it. I think I know how to fix it. I think I know how to fix it. I think I need to turn... Oh, I do. I know how to fix it. I think I know it. I think I do. Probably not. It's probably not going to work again. Whatever. We're going to raid. Nico, thank you for the 50 gifted memberships. I will... I'm going to raid before this ends so you can't do it again, so we don't get sunlocked. Nico, I appreciate it. We're going to end stream though. Nico, I'm going to murder you. You can't do this every stream, my man. You can't stunlock me at the end of every stream and stop me raiding into people. That's not how this works. You can't do it. It's against the law, I think. Also, I think Nico works for the cartel, man. What the fuck? My man Nico's doing some shady deals. I blame Cherry, Lupina, V Reverie for this. All of my hate. Jesus Christ, Nico. Okay. I've set up the redirect. Jesus. We can't sit here for another 100 messages. Redirect. No, Cherry, we're not redirecting to you. You're not even live. Can you stop? You're going to make people think I hate you, which actually is not too far from the truth. It's not funny. I have to sit here and listen to Lopi say penumbral fuck you 50 times in a row. Although, I do take great joy in the fact that Lopi has said that when this happens, she has to leave stream because she can't like listen to the sound of her own voice. Do you want me to go live an hour and a half early? I literally will, and then immediately... You want me to send my viewers to you so you can immediately end stream and give them no content? Do you hate my viewers? Also, do you hate Miri? Why do you not want me to send viewers to Miri? Look at her. She's great. She's incredible. What's wrong with you? She's not live. We are looking at Cherry Lupina V Reverie's channel right now. She isn't live. I'm literally looking at her screen. Look at it. Does this look like the screen of someone who is live? Look me in the eye. Okay. We're going to raid into Miri. We're going to get Cherry to do a voice alert. I have to get Cherry on the podcast first so she can record it and then I can add it. Can I literally have OBS open right now? I will do it. It would be fun. It would be kind of fucking funny, wouldn't it? What? You're just gonna go live and then immediately you realize you'll ruin your going live screen. You're aware of that, right? You're aware that you'll lose your waiting room and you'll have to recreate it. No, because what Cherry's gonna do, I'm gonna raid into Cherry, and then Cherry's gonna raid into Miri, and then Cherry's gonna take the fucking credit for my raid. Bullshit. Not doing it. She's stealing... She's stealing my thunder. You're such a bitch. You are the worst. That was exactly my plan. I hate you so much. I'm raiding Miri. Nico, thank you for the gifts, my man. I appreciate it. I'm going to try and get alerts fixed by next time so you can no longer stunlock me, but I do appreciate your support. Cherry, you're the worst. You are an active detriment to my mental health, and I don't know why I speak to you. Also, Cherry, you have to help me bully Lopi after her dating stream. We have to... Oh, wait. Yeah, okay. The last piece of knowledge I want everyone to know on Lopi. The last piece of news, because she's not here, because she's on another stream right now. She can't physically stop me. We were playing Baldur's Gate, and she rizzed up the fucking tentacle man. She got fucked by a squid. It was fucking hilarious. So I want that permanently as her title. I want nobody to let her forget that she is the Squid Rizzer, the Squid Diddler. Just there you go. That's the most important piece of news for today. Do let her know that when she streams in 3 years, so the next time she streams, which I don't know, fucking, that could be literally in a century, but when she does, I do want you all to remind her of her squid tendencies. Lopi is getting rizzed up by a bunch of VTubers on Evan's channel right now. Right, we're going to raid into Miri. Thank you for joining me. Nico, thank you so much for the memberships, even though I know you do it purely to stomach me and cause me great pain. I do appreciate them. You're fucking cool. We are going to... Nico, I think you've actually run out of... I think you've run out of, like, memberships. I think it might... Based on what I'm seeing, I think you literally couldn't give it anymore. I'm not going to actually test it. We're going to go. We're leaving. Goodbye. I'm not... Sorry, I regret saying that. I'm leaving. Thank you so much for the memberships, Nico. You're awesome. Cherry, you're not awesome. Go say hi to Miri. Be nice. Don't hate Raider, please. I didn't mean to say that. And thank you for keeping me company through this wild fucking stream. I need to go wash my hands with holy water. Bye-bye.